speaking. Yes, I can solve your sales problem. You know where my office is, at the Spaces, right? I'll see you there soon. I'm gonna have my coffee now. Bye.
Check it out, guys. Welcome to the Paul Cruz Sales Agency. This is the opening monologue. In this video that you're about to watch, it's a live cold call. And I closed this deal on a cold call. But what I want you to learn is how I deal with phone problems. What do I mean by that? I was asking questions. There was like silence for a minute. Then he finally got back on. Then the call dropped. So I had phone problems. The guy called me back for me to call him on his private line. So I was able to get back on the phone with him, go through the presentation, and close the deal. But what I want you to pay attention to is this. Sometimes we could get distracted or discouraged when those things happen. We don't get back on the phone, we don't call them back, and then we get discouraged. What I was able to do, like I always do, I'm a professional. I got back on the phone, I went through the presentation, I went through the opening, the body, the close, I got them excited, I talked about numbers, I got him engaged. At the end of the day, I built a good bond with this client. And he's also from New York as well. So it's a very powerful video. It's a very exciting video. Pay attention to the details and you're going to see how you can grow cold calling. Now, if you like the video, smash the like button. Share your comments, share your thoughts. If you want to follow me, you know what to do. Just hit the subscription button below. Now for the video. Good morning. This is Paul Cruz. I'm with BZB Sales. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How you doing?
Hey, every day I'm alive is a beautiful day. Thanks for asking. Listen, the reason why I'm calling is this. There's a lot of demand right now because the economy is changing for janitorial service. I don't know if you're aware of the demand there is for that right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm looking for is a local reputable company that I can offer new qualified prospects. Let me ask you this. If I could show you a simple way, an effective way to increase your monthly cash flow and multiply your annual revenue by converting more qualified prospects into sales, that would be a huge benefit to your company, right? Especially with janitorial.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Do you work for Angie?
For who? No, I don't work for Angie. I got my own business. I am in the janitorial business, but I'm not doing the operations anymore because it's hard to find, good labor. But what I focus on and what I'm really good at is getting contracts without having to bid. So in other words, whenever I go to a walkthrough, I'm there not only to do a walkthrough, but to sign a contract. So I don't do the dog and pony show. So what I decided to do was, how can I help janitorial companies? Well, one of the ways I can help janitorial companies here in El Paso is to not only increase their profit margin, but to help them generate more contracts by not having to waste time with the bid process. So that's one of the things we do. So because that's what I specialize in, I decided I'm just going to focus on that and not try to hire people to do work because it's hard to get people and then to keep them is even harder. Does that make sense?
Right.
So let me ask you a question. Are you in the position to take on new qualified prospects in the next 30 to 45 days?
Yes, but how much do you guys charge for your services? Because I'm pretty good at capturing customers and clients.
Oh, no, that's fine. And listen, it really depends on what you really are going to need. Because there's there's 4 services that I offer depending on the company. So for example, in your case, you're probably a small business owner. You probably got about 10 to 20 employees, correct? Around there, give or take?
Correct.
Okay, so what I would do is this. typically I would basically set up these qualified appointments for you where you actually go there to do two things. So let's say I have a $2,000 a month contract, or a company that's paying $2,000 a month, and they, it's 3 days a week, full janitorials, et cetera, et cetera. So what's going to happen is, before you even go there, you're going to know who's the decision maker, what their price is. You're going to know how many days of service is, what type of services. So when you go there, you're actually going there to do the walkthrough to see if there's anything else you're missing, right? And then what will happen is this: if you want that contract, you actually put an offer to the company based upon the numbers that I gave to you, and then you decide whether you want to take that or not. So let's say $2,000 is not a good profit margin, but you could do it at $3,000. So let's say you try to close the deal and it doesn't close. I can go back in there to the customer and work the deal out for you, okay? But at the end of the day, you're not going to go there to do the dog and pony show. You're going to go meet with them to have an opportunity to get a contract. That's number one. The second thing is this: let's say you have projects that you want to get rid of because it's not making you enough profit, but there's a company that wants to get into the janitorial business. I can help you sell your contracts that you currently have to the other janitorial company. Okay, so that's the second service. The other thing is this: when I deal with big janitorial companies, I usually help them set up a sales team, or I actually help them develop a better sales team, or actually teach owners how to sell. So there's 4 services that I offer. But right now, what I'm offering you is an opportunity to really look at getting more quality commercial properties. You know what I mean? And what that does for you, it saves you time on doing the dog and pony show, going visiting them, putting a bid in. I'm not saying you're not going to get it, but I know how El Paso works. There's a lot of backdoor deals that happen. There's a lot of cutting of, bidding small prices so that you can get a contract. But at the end, the profit margins are not that high. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the way I would want to work with you is, I would just set up qualified appointments for you wherever the area you want, whatever type of buildings you like, and that it all depends how much cash flow you want to make a month extra than what you're doing right now. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, so for me, bottom line is this: without sales, you and I both know we don't have a business. Getting sales is difficult in this market because not a lot of people are good at it. So what I do is I help janitorial companies eliminate, like I said, the dog and pony show. So if I call you and I say, what is your name again? What's your name?
Kevin?
Kevin? Kevin, my name is Paul Cruz. So I would go to you, I say, Kevin, listen, I have this medical office downtown. It's 3 stories. They need windows. They need power washing. They need full cleaning. Here's what they're paying every month. Here's the services they need. Is that something you want to go look at? You say, yeah, I want to go look at it. So what I would do is I would give you their name and number so that you can schedule a time for them to meet with you. Or I can call them up and say, listen, Kevin's going to be there at this time. He would like to meet with you, et cetera, et cetera. So nobody's going to be left in the dark. So when you go at this appointment, you're either going to want to get it or you're not going to want, but you're going to have a real opportunity to get a deal because you're not going to have to bid on it. You know what I mean? So it's there for you to take. This is what I specialize in. This is how I'm able to help, janitorial companies. Does that make sense? Man, these phones keep acting up, man. He could hear me, but now he's driving. This is my cold call pitch. This is how it works. Got to get people excited. Got to provide solutions. Got to show value right away. Hello? calling him again. I had to hang it up. Guys, I'm calling the guy back that I spoke with earlier that I was pitching, and we're going through the numbers. And then the call dropped because he put me on hold. The client called him, and he just called me back to call him back. So just watch this. This is how you do it, guys. And he's from New York like I am, so it's a good thing. Hey, Kevin, Paul Cruz. Hey, all right. So hopefully this is a better line for us to talk. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep it simple. You know, for me, like I was telling you earlier, you know, we were trying to get people to work, and people didn't want to work. But you know, one of the things that our strength is selling and closing deals. I see you have probably you have a real estate business as well.
Yes.
Okay, because I see Cozy Home. I'm in real estate as well. I got real estate clients that I trained and I help with for sale by owners. You know, I got banks as clients. You know, janitorial is just one of the businesses that I specialize in. But here's the bottom line. You know, for me, you know, what's the most important thing is not just the sales, you know, solving problems. That's what I do. For me, it's all about building profitable relationships. And how do I do that? Is I don't waste people's time, because we can't buy back time, right? So one of the things that I focus on that I could be of value to you or anybody else in the industry is really how to avoid and eliminate the process that usually takes place in the janitorial business, especially here in El Paso. Every state, every city is different, but El Paso, there's a lot of cutthroats that takes place. I'm not into that. I'm into solving problems. So one of the things that I could do is really get you qualified appointments that you may not be able to get or that you don't know is out there for you to take advantage of. And the advantages is this, that you don't have to worry about doing bids. In other words, you're more negotiating than anything, because you're going to know up front what their price is, right? And let's say it's a good price, right? Man, that's a good price. You do a walkthrough, you look at it, you can either accept the contract and do a deal with them, or you could say, you know, it's not enough for me. You know what I mean? But at least you're not wasting time putting in a blind bid, and hopefully somebody calls you. You know, if I'm going to earn business, I'm going to do what I do right now. I cold call, I go out there and I grab it. I'm not going to wait for it to come to me, even though it does. So I don't sit on my laurels waiting for that to happen. So that's the uniqueness about what we do here at BZB Sales. And you know, at the end of the day is, you know, if I could increase your revenue, you know, every single month, you know, that's not a bad thing. Does that make sense?
Right.
You know, so my question to you is, you know, what would be a good thing for you as far like if you could increase your revenue annually, right, consistently, and you have 100% control, how much would you like to increase your janitorial business as far as percentage is concerned?
Oh yes, I mean, as long as the numbers make sense, that's why I asked you how much your services were.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
We're
Well,
not doing every bad.
What was that?
So we're not doing like incredibly bad at the moment, but there's always.
Of course. Well,
too much work.
Of course. And let me ask you this: how many commercial properties are you handling right now in your portfolio?
Let's see. About somewhere between 7 and 10.
7 to 10? Okay. Okay, fair enough. And if you were to add up all of the contracts that you have, let's say you got 10 contracts, just to keep it as a simple number, what would your average contract, if you add them all up, what would you say your gross revenue is collectively with those 10? Ballpark.
Just from the commercial, well, we bought them to half of them from another company. We bought another company out and to delete. So they do about $7,000 a month in total.
7,000?
We probably gross about 40% of that. Yeah.
Okay, so 7,000.
That's about 40% of it.
Okay, all right. So if you look at that's 7,000 a month, right? Combined.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you got
Right.
7,000, let me do my calculation here. So if you got 7,000 a month, Let's see here, 7,000. I'm a numbers guy, so please forgive me. 7,000 times 12. So you're about $84,000 a year in contract. Now, obviously, you said you subcontract that out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do. I was thinking about doing subcontracting, but the reason why I didn't do it is because I didn't want the janitorial companies that if I don't get paid, they don't get paid, then they're going to carry a lot of paper. So I don't like doing that, but I'm assuming that's what you do. You subcontract work out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So this might be a real...
We weren't close to our contracting, though. So, I mean...
Okay, well, here's what I'm saying is, the minimum that... The worst case scenario I could perform for you, and this is me not even making a phone call, is I could help you generate an extra $24,000 a year on one contract.
Okay, I was interested in learning something like that.
Okay, because
about $2,000 a month.
Right, that's about $2,000 a month. And I'm going to tell you something. The reason why I keep the number simple, because if I told you what I could really do for you, you're going to hang up the phone on me, and I don't want you to do that. You know? So I'm going to make life real simple. So if you generate $2,000, and this is one contract, okay, one time. This is not every month. This is just one contract paying you $2,000 a month, right? That's it. So that's $24,000. If you take $24,000 and you divide it by, what is it? What was the number? Let's see here. If you take $24,000 divided by 24,000 divided by 84,000, you're looking, at about a 28% increase in your business. Actually, more than that. So if you take 10 to 60, it's about 30% increase in your revenue. That's on one contract that I could bring to you. Now, I want you to think about this. If I get you one contract a month at $2,000 a month, you do the math on that. That's $288,800 in new contracts for 1 year. That's what I'm offering you.
Right.
So you're probably saying it sounds too good to be true. It's not too good to be true. This is what I do. The question comes down to, if you could grow your business by X amount of dollars, there's a certain amount of money you got to put into it in order to grow it, right? Does that make sense? So if I could increase your revenue, let's just say worst case, by $24,000 or 30% in 1 year on one sale, one contract, how much are you willing to invest if you know you can make an extra $24,000 in 1 year on one sale? Ballpark.
I don't know. I know numbers, but I never broke down how much leads. Like, typically, leads that cost me, like long-term leads like that, probably cost me, I don't know. I don't know, because the marketing we do, we pay like about. We pay per click. I don't even, to be honest. I would guess maybe.
Well, if you do pay-per clips, I used to do that. I should do SEO and all that. That's not really investing. That's more speculation. But here's the thing is, I could put people in front of you. If I put 10 qualified prospects that you know the pricing, you know the services, you know the days. These are businesses that are ready to sign a contract. And I put you in front of them. How many of those could you close?
Okay, so.
See, I said, if I brought you 10 qualified prospects, right? Let's say commercial properties, and you know how much they're paying every month, and you know how many days of the week, and you know the services, and you know everything you need to know before you go to a walkthrough, how many of those contracts you think you could close if I made that happen for you?
If you made it happen, I'll close all of them.
You close all of them? All right, so here's the deal. All we need to do is close 1 out of 10, and you're in the black with me. Simple as that. At $2,000 a month for one contract, you're looking at $24,000. If you say you could close 10 of them, so multiply $24,000 and one contract per contract, that's $240,000, right?
Right.
Okay, that's what I'm offering you. So if you could grow your business by $240,000, because you say you could close 10 out of 10, I could tell you with my strategy, the way I do things, you know, on the initial close, you could get at least 3 of them. So I like to keep it simple. So here's what I'm going to offer you today, and you could think about it. I like to keep things very simple. Like I said, I'm a numbers guy. You know, I know this. If I know I could generate $24,000 in 1 year and I'm in control over it, and my expenses are minimal, in other words, it doesn't cost me a lot of outgoing money to build my business, especially janitorial, which costs a lot of money. It costs you money just to take on a contract, because you got to put money out before you do the services, right? For products and stuff like that. So here's the thing is, my project is very simple, okay? It's $2,500 a month, and there's 90 days. In other words, minimum 90 days. But here's the thing is, on one contract, on $2,500, you already make your money back on the first contract. Now, here's the thing I cannot do for you, Kevin. And I mean this with all respect. I cannot close deals for you. So if you go out there and you gave it everything you had, and it was a real deal, but the guy didn't want to close, but you will like that project, then I can go back to the customer, try to get you your price, and then you pay me a % of the contract. That's a separate service. That doesn't happen often, because usually my guys close. But I just want you to know that if there's a deal to be made, I can make it happen for you. That's what I'm offering you. So at the end of the day, for $2,500,
$8,400.
what?
How much did you say?
What was that?
You said it was how much money was it for 90 days?
Oh no, it's basically we set up qualified appointments for you, prospects, right? It's $2,500 per month. There's a minimum of 90 days. In other words, it's a service agreement. And here's what we do. At the end of the day, is if I don't get you or any of my clients, I do this with all my clients, if in 90 days I don't get Kevin one qualified appointment that you had an opportunity to close, but you just couldn't agree on the numbers, then you get 50% back of your money. That's how I do it. But here's what I will say. You will get an opportunity to close deals every single month. So if you don't close deals, I can't help you with that, other than if I close them for you, then I want a % of the contract. So I want to make sure that, you know, you have every opportunity to take advantage of it. So once I know what you like, I target the properties that you like. Because at the end of the day, I want to bring you what you want. Because if I'm not bringing you what you want and I'm bringing you garbage, you should pay me for garbage. Does that make sense? So at the end of the day, if you invest, let's say you only do 1 month, right? Let's say I only want to do 1 month. So at $2,500, I get your $2,000 contract a month, or equivalent to $2,000. That's $24,000 in that 1 year. You 10 times your money on that. That's what I do, you see, because at the end of the day, I deal with banks, I deal with medical offices, I deal with hospitals. I don't deal with little companies. I deal with real big companies. You know, you know, at the end of the day, that's where the money's at, that's where the value is, and that's where you could get 3 to 5 year contracts. You know what I mean? I'm not even charging you for the 3 year contracts if there's 3 year contracts. I'm only looking at, I set you up an appointment, you go close it. And if you close 5 appointments in 1 month, I only make $2,500. You see what I'm saying? So why am I doing it this way? Why am I doing it this inexpensive? Because after 90 days, if you see what I do for you and you like what I do for you and you see that I'm valuable, then we're going to renegotiate a different price, because you're already going to see that I've proven myself. That's why I do it that minimum. Does that make sense?
Okay, well,
I'll
definitely think about it.
Fair enough. Let me ask you this, Kevin, before we go. Do you like the idea? Does it make sense? Do you understand the value I'm offering you?
It makes sense. However, it's a little bit pricey for a gamble, kind of.
Well,
you know what I mean?
no, I understand. I understand. You know, I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. Let me tell you what I found out. Every day in life we're gambling. We just don't realize it. I realize it the minute I get up. I get in my. I'm going to travel to my office. You know, anywhere. My life ain't guaranteed, man. I could get hit. I could get shot. I could get stabbed. I could get anything. Could happen. We'll take a gamble. But here's the thing: you're gambling on yourself. Because at the end of the day, if I brought to you all this situation and you can't close it, that's different. Now, and here's what I will say to let this conversation end. There's 3 reasons why people don't invest with Paul Cruz. I've been in sales for 30 years. I've trained hundreds of salespeople over the years. I used to live in Vegas for 16 years. I ran a 250-man call center. There are only 3 reasons why people won't invest with me. Is number 1 is they don't have the money. I don't think that's the case with you. I think you can handle $2,500. I think you're just a little nervous. I get that. I'm a guy on the phone. But the second reason is this. You don't know me, and we don't have a track record, right? Right. So if I have been your sales rep or your broker or your consultant or whatever you want to consider me for a year or 2, and I made you money consistently and I produced results for you consistently, you would write a check right now for $25. You go, Paul, let's go to work, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you would, right? So let me tell you why people do invest in Paul Cruz. Boricua Paul Cruz from Brooklyn, New York. Okay? Because you know how New Yorkers are. We're straightforward. We let you know how we feel, good, bad, or different, right? So at the end of the day, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to hide under his desk when shit doesn't happen. If something doesn't happen, I take responsibility. I will be calling my clients. I stay in touch with all my clients. Why? Because it's about the relationship. So at the end of the day, I'm not asking you to do something that you don't do consistently for your business. You always make investments in your business, right? But you don't know if it's going to work or not, right? Mm-hmm. But as long as you're in charge of it and you're in control, you're betting on yourself, right? So I'm not asking you to do anything different other than give me a shot at your business, give me 90 days, and when you see that I am producing for you and I'm generating your results, all I'm going to ask you is this. After 90 days, we renegotiate. If you want to continue my services, you give me a good review and you give me a referral. Fair enough?
Okay.
All right, so let's do this. Now, what I would like to do with you, I would like to meet with you face to face so that I can go over any other questions, concerns you may have. And then when you see everything, we go over the numbers again and you're comfortable, then you can hire me for my services. Fair enough?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a call when I want to take that step. I just don't want to have you waste time if I'm not going to make a move like right away.
All right, fair enough. I appreciate you. Well, let me ask you a question. And putting your credit card, your checkbook aside, you know, what's holding you back? What's the real issue here?
That's my favorite question.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think I'm trying to help you out?
Right now, I'm in a transition phase right now. So what I'm kind of moving to is teaching people how to open up their own like 6-figure cleaning, as well as we're starting to like open up like not only do home cleaning, but commercial cleaning. We want to
right.
Services, carpet cleaning.
Right. Well, I tell you what.
Right now we have our hands in a lot of other spaces.
I got you. You know one thing I learned when I want something done, I give it to somebody that's busy because they know how to manage their time. But here's the thing. This is perfect for what you're doing. Because imagine I'm sure people are hiring you for you to train them to do how to do that, right? You're not doing it for free unless they're working for you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they're paying.
Definitely.
So they're paying you, right? So you're asking for the order. You're closing deals, right? And you better produce. So what better way to produce where you got a secret weapon now that can get you contracts where you can accelerate their business and their growth. And here's one thing I've learned about janitorial businesses. The profit margin is so little because people take any shitty ass job because they want to grow their business, but they don't realize until 10 years later that those jobs suck. But we can eliminate that by starting them off with the right contract. So if they're investing if they're investing and they're paying you, they're investing in their business, right? And they're trusting you. So I'm asking you for the same thing. The call dropped again. Damn. All right, guys. Anyway, that's my presentation. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's all about energy, passion, excitement, and selling the numbers.